Artificial intelligence is no longer a technology we are waiting for. It is already here. But the AI most people use today, chatbots, image generators, and simple assistants, may soon look primitive compared to what is coming next. Because artificial intelligence is entering a new phase. A phase where AI doesn't just answer questions, it takes action. It remembers, it watches the physical world, and eventually it may begin making decisions before humans even realize a decision needs to be made. These are the artificial intelligence trends that could change everything, and some of them are moving much faster than most people think. Before we continue, I'd like to give a special thanks to our founding members, Emiliana Chavez and Inglorious Bradstard. Thank you for being among the very first to support FutureLens. Your support helps us create more in-depth videos about artificial intelligence and the technologies shaping our future. If you'd like to support FutureLens and unlock exclusive member perks, click the Join button below. Now, let's dive into the first AI trend. Trend 1. AI agents are replacing simple chatbots. For the last few years, artificial intelligence has mostly been something you talk to. You type a question, AI gives you an answer. You ask it to write an email, it writes the email. But this model is beginning to change. The next generation of AI systems is being designed to act more like digital workers. They are often called AI agents. Instead of simply telling you how to complete a task, an AI agent may attempt to complete the task itself. Imagine planning a vacation. Today, you might ask an AI chatbot to recommend a destination. Then you search for flights, compare hotels, check transportation, build an itinerary, and organize everything manually. An advanced AI agent could potentially handle much of this process. You give it a goal, a budget, and a few preferences. The system researches options, compares information, organizes the plan, and asks for approval when an important decision needs to be made. The same idea is moving into business. AI agents could monitor inventory, analyze sales, prepare reports, organize meetings, review documents, and coordinate with other AI systems. This is an important shift. We are moving from AI that generates information to AI that performs workflows, and that could fundamentally change what we mean by office work. Trend 2. AI is developing long-term memory. There is a major problem with many AI systems today. They forget. You can have an incredibly detailed conversation with an artificial intelligence, explain your goals, your preferences, your projects, and your way of thinking. But later, you may have to explain everything again. That limitation is slowly disappearing. One of the biggest trends in artificial intelligence is persistent memory. Future AI systems may build a continuously evolving understanding of the person using them. Not just your name, not just your calendar, but your habits, your communication style, your previous decisions, the projects you abandoned, the ideas you keep returning to, and possibly even patterns you haven't noticed yourself. Imagine an AI assistant that has worked with you for 10 years. It remembers the business idea you discussed 7 years ago. It knows why you rejected it. It remembers the financial situation you were in at the time, and now it notices that the conditions have changed. The AI might say, 7 years ago, you decided not to pursue this idea because the technology was too expensive. The cost has now fallen by 80%. Would you like to reconsider? This is where AI becomes something very different from a search engine. It becomes a form of external memory. But this also creates an enormous question. Who controls that memory? Because an AI system that remembers your life may become incredibly useful and incredibly powerful. Trend 3. Multimodal AI will understand the physical world. Humans don't experience reality as text. We see, we hear, we speak, we observe movement, we recognize objects, we understand tone, and we combine all of these signals almost instantly. AI is beginning to do something similar. This is called multimodal AI. Instead of processing only text, these systems can work with images, audio, video, and other forms of information. Imagine pointing a camera at a broken machine. The AI watches the equipment, listens to the sound of the motor, reads the model number, identifies unusual vibration, and compares what it sees with technical documentation. Then it explains the most likely problem. Or imagine an older person living alone. An AI system could potentially detect changes in movement, speech, and daily routines, not to replace a doctor, but to recognize that something appears different and recommend further attention. In factories, AI multimodal could monitor production lines. In agriculture, it could analyze plants and identify signs of stress. In vehicles, it could interpret roads, pedestrians, and driver behavior. The physical world contains enormous amounts of information. Until recently, most AI systems could access only a small part of it. That barrier is disappearing. Trend 4. AI is moving into robots. For decades, robots have been impressive but limited. A traditional industrial robot is extremely good at repeating a specific movement. Move this object, weld this component, repeat, thousands of times. But change the environment and the robot may fail. AI could change this. The goal is to create machines that can understand instructions, observe unfamiliar environments, and adapt their actions. This is why humanoid robots are receiving so much attention. The human world was designed for the human body. Doors, stairs, shelves, tools, warehouses, factories. If a robot has a roughly human shape, it may be able to operate in spaces that already exist. But the real breakthrough isn't the robot's body, it's the intelligence controlling it. A robot connected to an advanced AI model could potentially learn tasks through observation and instruction. You might show it a task, explain the goal, and allow the system to improve through repeated attempts. This doesn't mean millions of humanoid robots will appear overnight. Hardware is difficult, batteries are limited, machines break, safety matters, and the real world is far more unpredictable than a computer simulation. But the direction is becoming clear. AI is leaving the screen and entering machines. Trend 5. Artificial intelligence is becoming personal. Most software today is designed for millions of users. Everyone gets roughly the same interface, the same buttons, the same menus, the same basic experience. AI could completely change that model. Imagine opening a financial application. Instead of navigating through 10 menus, you simply say, "Show me where my spending increased this month and explain why." The interface changes, the information appears, and the system presents the answer in the way you understand best. Another person might ask the same question and receive a completely different interface. This could lead to personalized software, personalized education, personalized entertainment, and highly personalized digital environments. Your AI may learn that you prefer short explanations in the morning, detailed analysis at work, and visual summaries in the evening. The software adapts, not because you changed the settings, but because the system learned how you interact with information. The era of one interface for everyone may slowly disappear. Trend 6. Artificial intelligence-generated video will become difficult to identify. AI images improved incredibly quickly. At first, the mistakes were obvious: strange hands, distorted faces, unreadable text, impossible objects. Then the technology improved. AI video is following a similar path. Today, generated video can still contain strange physics, inconsistent details, and unnatural movement. But those weaknesses are being reduced. The important trend is not simply better video quality, it is lower production cost. In the traditional media industry, creating a complex scene can require cameras, actors, lighting, locations, visual effects, and large production teams. AI could dramatically reduce some of these barriers. A small creator may eventually generate scenes that previously required a professional studio. Advertising could become personalized. Educational videos could be created instantly. Movies could potentially change based on the viewer. But there is another side to this trend. If anyone can generate convincing video, video itself becomes weaker as evidence. For generations, people believed what they saw with their own eyes. In the AI era, that assumption may become dangerous. The question will no longer be, does this video look real? The question may become, can this video be verified? Trend 7. AI is accelerating scientific discovery. Some of the most important applications of artificial intelligence may never become popular consumer products because they are happening inside laboratories. Artificial intelligence is increasingly being used to analyze complex scientific data, model biological systems, search through enormous combinations, and identify patterns. Drug discovery is one major area. Developing new medicines can take years of research. AI systems may help scientists identify promising molecules and narrow the search. In materials science, AI can help explore potential new materials. In climate research, AI can analyze complex environmental data. In engineering, systems can evaluate designs and suggest alternatives. The key advantage is speed. Humans are extremely good at asking meaningful questions, but computers can examine enormous amounts of information. When human scientific judgment is combined with machine-scale analysis, the research process could accelerate. AI may not replace scientists, but scientists using advanced AI could work very differently from scientists who came before them. Trend 8. Smaller AI models will run everywhere. When people imagine powerful artificial intelligence, they often imagine massive data centers, thousands of specialized chips, enormous amounts of electricity, and huge technology companies. But another trend is moving in the opposite direction. AI models are becoming smaller and more efficient. This means more artificial intelligence could run directly on your personal devices, phones, computers, vehicles, cameras, industrial equipment, and eventually wearable devices. This is important for several reasons: speed, privacy, and reliability. If an AI system can process information directly on your device, some data may not need to be constantly sent to a remote server. The response can also be faster, and certain features may continue working without a perfect internet connection. The future of AI may not be one giant intelligence in the cloud. It could be billions of smaller AI systems embedded everywhere. Trend 9. Search is becoming a conversation. For more than 20 decades, the internet trained us to search using keywords. You type a phrase, you receive links, you open websites, you compare information, and you build the answer yourself. AI is changing this behavior. People are increasingly expecting direct answers. But the next stage could go even further. Instead of searching for information, users may ask an AI to investigate a question. The system searches multiple sources, compares claims, identifies disagreements, and presents a structured conclusion. This changes the role of the user. You are no longer simply searching, you are delegating research, and that creates a major challenge for the internet. If AI gives people the answer directly, what happens to the websites that created the information? What happens to publishers, independent creators, online advertising, and the traditional search economy? AI isn't just changing search technology, it may change the economic structure of the open internet. Trend 10. The most valuable skill may be knowing what to delegate. There is a common fear that artificial intelligence will replace human intelligence, but the near-term reality may be more complicated. The advantage may go to people who understand how to divide work between humans and machines. AI is extremely good at some tasks, processing large amounts of information, generating variations, finding patterns, creating first drafts, organizing data. But humans still provide context, responsibility, judgment, values, and an understanding of consequences. The most effective workers of the AI era may not be the people who do everything manually, and they may not be the people who blindly automate everything. They will understand what should be delegated to AI and what must remain a human decision. That distinction could become one of the most important professional skills of the next decade. Artificial intelligence is evolving faster than most technologies in modern history. AI agents are beginning to take action. Memory systems are becoming more persistent. Multimodal models are learning to interpret the physical world. Robots are becoming more intelligent. Software is becoming personalized, and synthetic media is becoming increasingly convincing. But the biggest artificial intelligence trend may be something much simpler. AI is becoming invisible. It is moving from a separate tool into the systems we use every day: our phones, our computers, our vehicles, our workplaces, and possibly our homes. The future may not feel like science fiction. There may not be a single moment when artificial intelligence suddenly changes the world. Instead, AI could quietly become part of almost every decision, every system, and every industry. Until one day, we look back and realize the world has already changed. The question is no longer whether artificial intelligence will transform our future. The real question is, how much of that future has already begun? If you want to understand the technologies shaping the next decade, subscribe to FutureLens, because the future is arriving faster than it looks.